Good afternoon from Bali, everyone. It's Anifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today I'm sitting in a new spot, but it's kind of a windy spot, so if I've got windblown hair, you know why. So today I thought I would talk about contemplation. Contemplation is something that's actually spoken about so many wise teachers, certainly a lot of spiritual leaders, and Gita talks about it. I feel actually that most spiritual texts actually talk about this, but I'm most familiar with it from Gita and from Buddhism. And Gita is, of course, leaning towards Hindu scripture and or what's termed as Hindu. And I wanted to share this first quotation, which is by no specific religious affiliation. This is by Aristotle. And Aristotle had said, the ultimate value of life depends upon awareness and the power of contemplation rather than upon mere survival. Awareness and the power of contemplation rather than upon mere survival. And this is what he's saying is the ultimate value of life. And I have to admit that since I have practiced contemplation, it's been years now, but I definitely notice a difference, that there is something very deep and meaningful about contemplation. And so again, since a number of people have asked me about this, and a lot of people think about contemplation as, just thinking, and I've been thinking about that, so I've been contemplating it. Kind of, yet it's a deeper thinking, it's a meaningful, it's a very self-reflective thinking, it's deep reflection, and this requires an intention to do so. And I thought that I would share one quotation by Sri Chinmoy, which says, if we know the divine art of concentration, we know the divine art of meditation. If we know the divine art of contemplation, easily and consciously we can unite the inner world and the outer world. The inner world, that which is within us, within our heart, our heartfelt spaces, our minds, our deepest yearnings, our deepest spaces, and it helps unite this with what is in the outer world, and helps unite that energy with an energy in the outer world that is also the exact same. It's this meaningful space that serves to help one another. And this is one of the deepest spaces that I feel that most of us can get to, yet there will be different texts that will talk about different ways to get there. And because so many people are asking me, I thought I'd share this Buddhist thinking too. And this is by Lobsang Tenzin, and it says, in the Buddhist learning process, we say 3 stages. The first is hearing, the second is contemplation, and the third, meditation. And it's interesting because, again, as I said, in different writings, different people might talk about these at different times. And for this experience, that's coming through this mind body, I do know that my strategy and my style has been to do some contemplation and do some meditation and then do some contemplation again. And it's so interesting to me that this has been very useful for me. And here again, they're talking about first is hearing. And I do listen to a lot of wonderful speakers regularly. That's something that I do regularly, and then I do reflect on it. So some of the contemplation that happens before meditation for me is after hearing these, and I do that contemplation, and I've heard what I've heard, and then this mind is contemplating it, and then I meditate, and then I contemplate again as to what kind of things have arisen in this mind. And I love this process, and I definitely feel that it's a very much more meaningful way of living. And it's certainly not only the scriptures that we think about in terms of Buddhist or Gita perspective. It's all the scriptures actually talk about these things, and then people have interpreted them in slightly different ways and practiced them in different sorts of processes. And I know that I came across something that I wanted to read to you too. that I might actually add into the next video. That's why I haven't put it on here right now. It's usually that I keep my quotations really easy for me to access when I make these videos. And there is another quotation that will be also about contemplation. That will be the next video. And right now I wanted to talk about something else that I came across that was by a wonderful writer who wrote a blog post that I read, and I thought this was a really great summary of what she was saying about contemplation. How do you do contemplation? Because I get that question so regularly. I thought I'd share her a few steps of how to do contemplation, because again, I can tell you about how wonderful it is and what a deeper space it is and what this reflective time really does bring out in ourselves, something that's ready to emerge. And yet, lots of people want to know how to contemplate. So this is her response in 6 steps. She says, make a comfortable meditation seat or lay down. Set a timer for 5 to 20 minutes or longer, if that's okay for you. Simply notice your breathing for 1 to 5 minutes. Bring your contemplation meditation to mind. So your contemplation meditation would be this idea of, I'm thinking about what I need to get done for today, for example. Or it could be what kind of career I'm pursuing. Or it could be how I can help another person. All of these things could be something that comes up in contemplation. For myself, I do know that the Ubud market that I was going to regularly had a major fire yesterday, and it was so huge. It was affecting every single little store owner that was in there that I got to know over the last couple of years. And again, it's part of the contemplation that I did for the last couple of days was just the contemplation of how to best help, and how to best help from this person. I definitely know is through that loving space of sharing a loving, caring energy with everyone here in Bali for sure, but certainly in Ubud right now with this knowledge of this fire and knowing that everything will be okay, and we just have to join and unite with those other energies that are also making sure everything is okay. It's a lot bigger than any one of us individually. So that's been my contemplation. So this again, she said, notice your breathing for 1 to 5 minutes, bring your contemplation meditation to mind. So this was mine. Think about what yours might be. Drop that question into your mind. So now your mind knows your question. Then move from your mind to your heart. Drop that question into your heart. Sounds interesting. How would I drop a question into my heart? Isn't my mind always thinking about it? Kind of. You almost want to let go of the question from your mind to bring it into the heart space, which is a true healing, loving space. This is a compassionate space. This is what a lot of text will even say is the central core of our energy. So to get it to this space, a lot of our mental work is mental, that we keep it up here. We're thinking and thinking and thinking, and to be able to drop that. And you know that we do this in meditation, that we drop the thoughts, that we can see them floating across the mind, but we just kind of let go of them. Now we can direct them into the heart. This is a space of contemplation. So this is something that I feel that many do not really recognize, that it's not only the mind or the letting go of thoughts or just thinking deeper, thinking harder, thinking with more effort. It's not. It's less effort, but it's about knowing which way to direct our energy and our thoughts. And many people don't think about bringing our thoughts to our hearts. If we bring our thoughts to our hearts, our work, our efforts, our intentions, our experience in the world will be heartfelt, and that's the energy that I wish for all of us. I hope that this video gave some of you a good idea of what is contemplation and how to do contemplation. As I mentioned, my next video will also be about contemplation, and I'll go a little bit deeper with that one. I wish you a fabulous day ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.